Bach, I think Ichibee told you the first time. Don't say his name like you know him, bro, or you're gonna get that ass kicked. Let's go. So I'm sure quite a few people are wondering what was the use of the first couple pages in this chapter with Ukitake and Kyoraku talking a little bit. First of all, Kyoraku is kind of explaining and giving us exposition as to how much damage has been caused in the Serite. The Serite is in rubble, and he's kind of thinking, well, if we get rid of them, will our buildings go back to normal? Are we going to have to rebuild? So it was kind of giving us an idea of how fucked up the Serite has become after all the battles from the war. Now, something that had me wondering was the things that Ukitake was saying, because they were talking about that, you know, they basically let them get into the Zero Division, into the Soul Palace, and they fucked up, basically. But then something along the lines of Kamikake, and yeah, that's from the translation I read. Kamikake, it's something there. Honestly, it was just very vague, and I didn't quite understand exactly what the fuck they were referring to. And then something along the lines of, you're sounding like a doctor. So I don't know if Kamikake is some sort of giant spell to heal everyone, put everything back to normal, or what's up with that. So that was something a little bit vague. Maybe it could be hinting towards Ukitake's Bankai. That's a possibility. We don't know really much about that. It could be many different things, but ultimately, I was still like, what the fuck are they even talking about? Now, something that caught my eye, though, is towards the end of that little bit, Kyoraku was basically saying, I'm going to room 46. Now, was he referring to Central 46? And if that's the case, why would he be going to Central 46? And I thought, maybe he's going to ask permission to release the beast of them all, Aizen, to help out. Now, if he went down there and said, yo, Aizen, you're gonna help us, and, like, I don't even know how the fuck that conversation would go, because you cannot trust Aizen as far as you can throw the fucking entire Serite. Like, you can't trust this motherfucker for nothing. So, how would that even work if that's the case? Because he said room 46. It could be that's a room in and of itself, totally different from Central 46. But if he's referring to going to Central 46, what could he possibly be going there other than to ask permission for something? It could be something totally irrelevant to Aizen, or it could be, we need Aizen for this war. He's a Shinigami himself. Maybe he'll help us out. But I honestly don't know at this point, and I'm just a little bit like, what the fuck was that build-up? So definitely some interesting build-up in the beginning. It seems irrelevant at first until you start to understand a little bit of the context, and it's like, could be big shit coming. And then the fight with Ichibee and Bach, a lot of big talk, both of them like going back and forth, just talking a little bit. But then when Ichibee was going in, I was like, exactly what the fuck was he doing? It looks like there was giant hands coming at him, and it seems as though the way he was talking, Ichibee was trying to seal him more than kill him, because it said seal on there in a kanji, like seal. So I don't know if he was trying to just fuck him up to the point then he could seal him away or something, because that's pretty much what it seems as though, because in the end Ichibee's like, damn, I guess I have no choice but to try and kill you then, because it didn't work, whatever he was trying to do. And if you notice, Bach is pulling out a lot of the stops in this fight against Ichibee, and it's still making me wonder, if he can't beat Ichibee without getting, you know, fairly destroyed, then what chance does he have against the Soul King, unless he has some sort of secret weapon ultimately? Because Ichibee crushed his throat, and he had to use his powers to heal his throat, I believe. He like put his hand on his neck to heal it. So he's in for one hell of a ride with Ichibee, and it seems as though Mr. fucking Maybach music is gonna whip Bach's ass. And a lot of people have been speculating that Bach might not be a true Quincy. There may be more to it, but he shot an arrow, and he shot it straight through his own fucking chest. So I think that's pretty much confirmation he's indeed a true Quincy. But I was just like, to survive and seemingly not get sealed, because again, I think that's what Ichibee was trying to do. Ultimately, he shot an arrow through his own fucking chest. That was some crazy shit at the end. And in all honesty, this chapter, it went by very quick. And I would honestly say certain aspects of it felt a little bit just like vague and kind of a little all over the place in a way. Like the beginning of the chapter, like what the fuck were they talking about this Kamikake, and then kind of a little bit of the fight, the drawings, just, I don't know if it was the scans or if it was the art itself. It kind of just felt a little bit unclear, but it was some pretty big epicness, I'm not gonna lie, and I'm glad that it's kind of a stalemate as of right now. Like, Ichibee was fucking him up, but ultimately Bach still has the resources and the abilities to withstand the ass whipping that he's taking, and I'm sure Bach has some sort of plan, because he's on some eyes and shit. He's been having a plan for everything. He even had his own fucking Wonder Wives. And I'm just looking forward to seeing what comes out of that setup in the beginning. What was it that Kyoraku was going to room 46? Did he mean Central 46? If that's the case, why was he going there? Was he asking for permission for Aizen? Was it something totally different? Maybe it had something to do with Kamikake, that they are going to use it to do something incredible, whatever that may be, Ukitake's Bankai, whatever the hell it is, it's making me wonder what the hell was that setup. And then the second half is like, I'm liking that it's at least keeping that nobody's getting embarrassed, nobody is getting owned, Bach is struggling. This is showcasing that the Zero Division ain't no pushover, but at the same time, Bach still has some tricks up his sleeve. Let me know what you guys think. Is he trying to get Aizen? What do you think about the fight? What the hell is Kamikake? Did it feel a little bit vague and all over the place to a certain degree? Like, that's how I felt about this chapter. Very quick, vague, and a little bit all over the place, but some epicness, some interesting setup and foreshadowing, and ultimately is like, it's going in a good direction. It's just going there in a weird way, I guess. I can't even say like fast or slow because so many things was happening in this one chapter, but then at the same time it felt so quick. It's honestly bizarre to say the least. So I'm leaning between 6.5 to 7. More so probably want to say 7 because it was some good setup in the beginning and the fight is looking pretty good. It's just that, like, I don't know, Kubo just loves to just make page after page with just like boxes without dialogue and just like little tiny events happening. I think if he would squeeze more into these chapters, it would be a lot better. And just let me know what you thought of this chapter and all the questions I had. But that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, if you could do so as well, that'd be awesome. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.